Hello and welcome to today's speed build. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us, and if not, then welcome back. So today I am super excited because this is my first video where I am building something for my save file. Now, if you don't know, I had recently kind of posted about the fact that I will be creating a save file for the world of Newcrest that you guys had helped me pick, and this is the first build I am doing, which is of course a starter home on the Lot Comfy Cubby. Now, if you do want to know any extra details about it, please make sure to go and check out my last video where I kind of talk about what's to be expected in this world, the kind of overall layout, and yeah, just a few extra details. But to sum it up for you, we are using only base game for this save file. I wanted it to be super accessible for everyone, and because I'm building in a base game world, I felt like it only made sense. So we are doing only base game. And this is my first build. So as you can see, it's like this small shotgun style home. It does have a little bit of a bump out, but I just liked the way that looked, and I thought it would be really good for space. I also figured because we're doing such a limited build in terms of price, I may as well try and add whatever extra tiles I can just to make it a little bit better for your Sims in terms of living. Now, something I did forget to take into consideration when I was making this build originally was the fact that the lot itself also costs money. So if you don't know, although you might spend like 20,000 building the house, when your sim actually needs to move in, if you're creating like a new save and you have no simoleons, your sim, give that if they're being a single sim, only have 20,000 simoleons, so they can't buy a home for 20,000 along with the lot, if that makes sense. So I realized this and I very quickly fixed that, and so I did make a few tweaks which you do see in this video, and it's just me pretty much taking it down to that 20 mark, because I think originally it was like 22,000 just because I'd forgotten how much the lot actually costs in itself. But yeah, so hopefully it's all good. I did make sure I've got this little sim that I'm using to playtest all the builds, and I got her to playtest it and everything was absolutely perfect, and she managed to buy it for the 20,000. I think it's just below, it's like 19,000. In fact, I know it's 19,996. I remember because I had 4p left. But yeah, so as you can see, we have done a lot of the exterior. Now, for the exterior, I did decide that I wanted to use a lot of debug, and for the reason that it is free. So I maybe typically would consider it to be cheating, but because this is a save file and you're really just downloading, the save to play in and to use as a normal a normal world, I don't think it is cheating. The debug items are always there and they're always available to use, so I feel like it was okay that I did use debug, but I used it for the things like the fences, the trees, also like the shrubs and stuff. I decided to use debug. And yeah, so I thought that would be really, I don't know, what would be the word? I thought that would be, good for us financially, because we struggled. I mean, I definitely struggled on the inside because I did spend, as you can probably see, 5,000 on the exterior. So yeah, and then I had to build all of the little walls on the inside to kind of create my floor plan, and that uses up so much more money than you think it will. Like, the walls are expensive. So I did try and use some half walls when I could, just to make it a little bit, I don't know, more budget friendly. But we started off with the kitchen. Now, I did do a lot of place markers originally just to make sure that everything was going to be okay cost wise. I don't think I showed on video, but that is what I did initially. Otherwise, I think I definitely would have went over the top with stuff and then just I wouldn't have had any money left. So yeah, I tried to be sensible. One of those days again where I just can't speak. But I tried to be sensible in terms of what I was getting, making sure that I was getting the essentials. You know, making sure we have a cooker, a fridge, a sink. Now, as I was saying, like, of course, I was a little bit I don't know, I was a bit unaware, I suppose, of budget and the fact that I needed to keep in mind that the lot costs money as well. So I do later on change a few things, and one of them is the fridge. So right now, this is like the second worst fridge, but it ends up being the worst fridge because, yeah, I realized that it was more cost effective. However, um, I feel like for a starter home, that is very generic and that's what you end up with anyway. When we move on to doing the like 30k and the 40k, that probably won't be an issue. You'll probably have a better fridge. But yeah, for this right now, it's just the kind of basic rubbish ones. But yeah, hopefully that's okay. I hope you're not expecting too much from this build, like clutter wise and things like that, because of course that's sort of impossible to do. But I try to add little things here and there just so there was a bit of something. And I did make sure to only use base game as well, which is nice. I'm so appreciative that they changed so many swatches and gave us a lot more swatches than we had, because I think this build or this save in general would have been very boring and very repetitive if we just had like the same 3 swatches and certain things. So yeah, I am very glad about that. One of them is like that little set of books. I'm just so glad that we got those. But yeah, there does end up being a dining table in here. And I don't even think I've mentioned, but this house is actually for 3 Sims. It could also possibly be for 4 actually. I had 3 in mind, but now that I'm thinking about it, 4 makes so much more sense because there's enough room for 2 parents and 2 kids. So yeah, I don't know why I had 3 in mind. I think because I've been doing so many like single parent builds recently, but 4 would definitely be even better. If you have 4 Sims, I believe you would have like, I'm trying to think, I remember reading about like what each thing costs. So your first sim is 20,000, then any more adult sims adds on another 2,000. And then I believe a child adds on 1,000, and then a toddler or a baby adds on 500 simoleons. So I think you would have like 23,500 simoleons. So you would have some left over. So if you wanted to have 4 sims in here, you could definitely do that. Now, something I was going to mention, because this is a save file, obviously there's no townies in this world. Now in a starter home anyway, I wouldn't put a townie in it just because it's a starter home for like you guys. A townie is more likely to be in something like just normal built residentials, but I did address this in my last video and I asked what you guys would want to see. Now my only thing is like, I don't know if I'd want to do that just in case like you guys then wanted to move into the houses, but I suppose you could just like evict them and move in yourself. I don't know. Please let me know where you stand with the townie situation. I did ask it in my last video, but I just want to know. I want to know what people are thinking. People probably have different opinions, so let me know and I'm happy to do whatever you think. But yeah, this house is intended for you guys to use your Sims. So I was thinking you could play with 4 Sims in here, and that would probably be a really nice place to start. Now, as you can see, I'm adding cushions. I don't know who I thought I was. I don't know why I thought like I had the money to do this. This is when I kind of thought, oh, we're fine, we're good. And I wanted to add a barbecue so bad and everything like that. And then I was very quickly humbled and I did change. So you will see that. I even changed the doors. These doors were like 5p more than the doors that I settled on, but I still decided I'm going to change the doors because I needed to save money somehow, and I refused to get rid of any clutter. So the clutter in the kitchen stays. The clutter in the living room stays except for the pillows. I love clutter, guys. I think this save file is really going to help me because I won't be able to clutter things, and it's gonna be such a wake up call. But yeah, I actually think this is my first time doing a starter home in general. So if anything is missing, oh, by the way, I do add a bin. I think I show it soon. I originally forgot the bin, but I did record me adding it in because I knew someone would say something. There does end up being a bin. It's like at the end of the dining room. But yeah, I was just gonna say, if I did miss anything, if you're like, oh, typically in a starter home there would be this, etc., etc., just let me know. I am very happy to like tweak builds if needed, but I really like this starter home. I'm hoping it doesn't really need any changes because I think it turned out really, really lovely. And I just love how much room there is. Like, considering it's such a cheap home, I feel like it has so much character to it, and I love the color. This was me trying to cheap out on the TV, but I didn't do it. Don't worry, I didn't put that penguin down. I did think about it though, but I didn't do it. But yeah, I really love this home. I think it feels so nice, and it's somewhere really nice for your Sims to kind of move in on their first few weeks while they get a job and things like that. So I just thought it was probably good enough to do, but I really like it. I honestly love starter homes. Like, whenever I do play The Sims and I have a starter home, I think they're so cool. Like, they're cute. I don't know, they have a nice vibe to them. But we are coming to the end of this video, so I do just want to say a massive thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!